Hey everyone, so this is a reading for your sun, moon, or rising. If you want to skip ahead to any particular area that has your interest, that is like top of mind, then I would check out the timestamps down below. Also, the live hangouts for cards and cocktails, and planning to do more of those. They've been going very well. I haven't chosen any dates for April yet, but the best way to stay on top of that and to find out when those are, to come hang out and get free tarot card pulls. It's just a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. It's a way for me to connect with people too. It's just fun. You can go check that out in my Instagram. So that's honestly the best way, is to follow me on Instagram to stay up on like when those get announced. So I try to do at least a couple different times to catch different time zones. The other thing is, and I'm going to keep this really short and succinct this month. Last month that was nuts. So let's keep this short and succinct. This is a collective reading, so keep that in mind. If this particular message doesn't resonate with you this month, it just wasn't your message this month. I would check out, if you're checking out your sun sign, rising, then check out your moon sign and see which one of those might resonate with you a little bit better this month. If you do want something that's more specific to what's going on in your life, I highly recommend booking a reading one-to-one. So all the links for that are down below. You can book a personal reading. You can get 20% off of your reading. You can get 50% off with a referral link. So all of that information is down below. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it. I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. The last thing that I want to say is there are new subscriptions that are available on Patreon. So if you're someone who really likes ongoing personal guidance with respect to what you're dealing with in this particular month or any month, I have weekly one-to-one, either live or recorded monthly subscriptions. So you can pay monthly to get weekly readings with me that are 30 minutes long. Or you can pay for monthly 90-minute readings with me, and those are also either live one-to-one or recorded for you. So those options are now available on Patreon. I'm still working on the website thing in the background. It has been a bananas month, you guys. So I'm going as fast as I can, but things are changing pretty rapidly. Anyhow, I think that's about all. Enjoy your readings, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye. Hello, Aries, and welcome to your April 2022 reading. So let's get into it. We're going to start by looking at what is coming up for you in the realms of, or actually let's start not with business, let's start with the overall. So hopefully that shuffling isn't too loud for y'all. All right. What is coming up? And happy birthday to some of you Aries out there. All right. Excuse my squeaky floor still. Hoping to have a new setup soon. And then here we have the challenge. And let's take a look at spiritual advice. Okay. And let's also pull for business, career, finances. What the challenges for Aries, and keep in mind this is a collective reading for Aries, sun, moon, and rising. So we're seeing a few cards pop out for challenge here. We'll go into those more in depth. And what's the spiritual advice coming through? All right. Okay, Aries, so we're gonna bring these down and we'll focus first on your overall. So this encompasses the vibe for the entire month. I'll move these a little bit off to the side since it's spiritual advice, right? Okay, so let's get into it. So first what we're taking a look at here is this kind of weighing out of options, making the pros and cons list, deciding between this or that. So something's on your mind, something's been going on for you where you're trying to make a decision between which way to go. Now this could be a lot of things, right? This could be having to do with education or moving somewhere or business or relationships. all of friendships, right? All of these different things, like what should I be doing? And one of the things that I'd like to say about this particular card, even though it is a very mental card, is really about tapping into your intuition. We see a lot of water that's present. We see the moon, and also she's blindfolded, right? So in this space, it's like removing one of the senses has us tune into the rest of our senses, right? And so therefore here we are needing to tune in order to get the answers that we're looking for. You can make all the pros and cons lists. Yes, that's great. And you're in a space where this is like the decision-making process. And part of that is tuning into yourself as well. Make sure that it's not just all mental that you're dealing with here, right? So when we're looking at the challenge, what we see is, so I'm going to go two ways with this. For some of you, it's complacency, procrastination, maybe a little bit of laziness, which, you know, kind of fits into those two, but just kind of waiting too long to get to the work that needs to be done and tending to the garden, right? For some of you, it's that you're overworking, right? You're just working too much, and you need to stop and appreciate the fruits of your labor and see like how far you've come, how you've come thus far. But I am getting the sense that like it can go two ways for the Aries, because I see these two cards here as being connected, and I see these two here as being connected. We'll get to that in just a second. So when we're taking a look at the spiritual advice that you're getting, spiritual advice, you might need to actually seek the counsel of somebody who has maybe gone before in making these types of decisions. Somebody that is well-versed or schooled in the areas that you're not, you know, there are always areas that, you know, we're not going to be masters of. So this could be about seeking the advice that comes from that. This can also, though, however, be about not doing things in a traditional way, not needing to conform to the way that society says that things need to go. So whatever it is that you're working with, deciding about, it may not be necessary for, like, maybe you've been thinking about the decision in this way of like, well, this is the way other people do it, or this is the way it's been done, or this is the only path that I can see for that. So I would question that. I would question whether there are other ways to do it. I mean, part of the reason to know the rules is so that we know how to break them, right? So that we know how to get creative with them. And I'm not saying go break some laws. It's definitely not what I'm saying. But I mean more so understanding the structure and the framework so that we know how we can do things differently and be innovative, right? The other thing that I'm seeing here is this is all your spiritual advice, right? This is the advice from your guides that are coming through. The other thing is like with the Nine of Cups, the Nine of Cups is really just about contentment, right? It's about contentment, being content where you are, being happy about the accomplishments and the things that you've had thus far, which is why I was saying that these two here could let's move these up here. These two here could very easily be connected if you have been overworking and you need to maybe step into appreciating, looking at the fruits of your labor, how much you've done, how far you've come, what you've accomplished, and be with that, sit in that, you know, revel in it, right? Relish it. So I think that these could be connected in that way. The other way, though, that I see that they could be connected is when I was talking about this particular card, one of the things that I said was it could be that some of you are just kind of being complacent and procrastinating and just being like, maybe you need to, yes, be appreciative of what you have so far and be content and everything like that, but needing to pull in some structure and not be procrastinating on things, right? So I do think it's more the other that I was just describing a moment ago. So, you know, it's looking like making a decision, maybe some procrastination or something is going on, or working too hard, and needing to seek the counsel of someone who's gone before you, looking at what the framework is that within which you're working to see if there are more innovative ways that you can actually get this done or make your decision, take the certain path that you want to take. And remember to stop and remember to feel into the what you've accomplished, how far you've come, appreciate and enjoy that. You know, I think sometimes we just get really caught up and forget to be in that space. We forget to appreciate how far we've come or what we've accomplished, and to enjoy it while it's there before we're fixated on the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, right? So let's move this over, and we're going to check out the realm of business, career, finances, right? And then we have your spiritual advice. Okay. I want to make sure these are all in frame. Okay, so it's looking a little rough here, right? Let's get into it. So what I'm seeing first off is that it looks like there is some tension, some conflicting ideas, passions, desires, competing desires that seem like they're conflicting. Now, this is either for you in the workplace, or this is for you with colleagues or people that you're collaborating with. Perhaps you have very different ideas about how you think the projects that you're working together on should go. And also just that there might be bringing into that mix like some tension. It's kind of like, the way that I think about this sometimes is like there's too many cooks in the kitchen, right? It's like too many ideas, too many cooks in the kitchen, needing to have more harmonious and fluid collaboration between everybody that's involved, right? And then we move into what we're looking at as the challenge cards. So first off, what I'm seeing is that there has been a lot of anxiety that has been present, like just worries, anxieties, stress, probably because I'm guessing it's because of this situation here. And some shadiness, some shystiness, some shadiness. This could be about telling lies. This could also be about hidden and obscured information, about people trying to kind of be a bit sneaky. So obviously this is a collective reading, so this isn't going to be resonant for every single Aries and every single, career work situation or financial situation, right? But just keep that in mind, right? So for those of you who this is for, there's something that's being hidden in the background. And also there's an issue here with the resources, time, energy, money, not being distributed evenly, not being reciprocated, or not being distributed evenly. Perhaps if you are working with multiple people on a team, right? For those of you who that applies to, that the work or the money is not being distributed evenly amongst everybody here. So that's something, but overall there's something that's just not really balancing out, right? And so with regard to whatever this is, again, this could be finance specific, business, career, workspace. So take that all into account. The other issue here is having trouble just letting go of certain past ideas and moving forward, venturing off, either venturing off on your own, leaving past projects behind and saying those aren't working, let's go into a new space. But it's just like this is the card of voyage, of a journey off to a new place, a new land, a new idea, right? We're looking at swords are about the ideas, they're about communication, they're about these mental spaces, and so it's looking like when it's in a challenge position like this to me is really about having a difficult time letting that shit go, right? And the reason why I think that this is what's happening here is because when we look at your spiritual advice is telling you, put that shit down. It's too heavy. You are carrying too much of the load. You're carrying too much of the weight. Too much of the world is on your shoulders. And all you have to do is drop some of these desires. Like, you don't have to be fulfilling on all of them. It's time to go back to the drawing board and see, like, what do you really need to carry forward and what don't you, right? Because there's this kind of almost like a stuckness. Maybe you feel like you're locked in or something like that. So there's always a way. There's always a way through. The other advice, though, that you're getting here is about, and this is really lovely because this is kind of hopeful, right? This is like the solution is about to come. It's at your fingertips, right? There are new opportunities coming in, new messages for new solutions to come through, to come in for you. So this is what's occurring. This is what's going to be coming forward. So, you know, it's like all of this is really, I think, about examining it from a place of truthful honesty, factual, not emotional space, looking at what's what, at what's not even, what are you really stressed over? What are you not able to let go of? I don't know if this has to do with you or with the other people, but it's just like clearly something is not really working out here. And this, if you're an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, and this is just you, then this could be about like you're just like having all of these conflicting seeming desires, like these disparate desires that are clashing with each other. They're just kind of like contending with each other. And maybe you need to put some of those down. Like you don't have to get it all done at once right now, right? If you've been feeling rushed, like it needs to be a certain way, it's time to go back to the drawing board, and the solutions are coming, right? They're on the horizon. They are coming through. So that's just, I think that's pretty clear. And let's actually now take a look at what's going on in love life for Aries. Love life, what's up? Okay, so we'll take a look at love life. I'm getting, for some reason, so here we have 7 cards, actually. I don't know why. Something is up, and I'm getting 3. I'm getting the number 3 for this here, okay? So overall, challenge, spiritual advice, all right? So we're gonna get into that. And then also, as I've been doing, I'm keeping with this because it seems to be something that people are enjoying, and that is the God and Goddess cards, the archetypes, the masculine and feminine archetypes. Remember, we are not talking about gender here, people. We are talking about the polarity of energy that exists within us and that we can embody to help ourselves, like the strengths of these characters, these archetypes, to move through, to help us move through the challenges that we're experiencing through the month of April. And also, if deities are a part of your belief structure, and I wouldn't dare tell anyone what to believe or not believe, then I would say these are your homies. These are the ones who have your back for the month of April. They're like, we got you. Don't worry about this. We're going to move through this together, right? We're going to take a look at also what the deeper spiritual invitation, personal work. I see this as another avenue for your guides to actually move through and speak. So I kind of have been coming to a place where while I've been working with this deck more and more, that it's not just like the deeper invitation to spiritual work. It's also like another voice, it feels like a clear avenue for guides to actually come through. Okay. And that is going to be when we look at the shadow, which is really just saying the blind spot, the places that trip us up in our life, the things that are wince-worthy, that we kind of shy away from, turn and look away from in our experience, right? And then lastly, let's lay these out here. We have a rune. So take a look at the runes, and this is going to be in the extended version for your reading, Aries. So yeah, so the love reading and the oracle cards and the rune, and I will see you over there. Have a fantastic month, Aries. Bye.